All right, folks. Wow. I'm pumped up and I'm fired up. Chris set the tone this morning with his powerful, amazing. I don't know if amazing is the right term, but that's just what came out of my heart with his powerful testament. Here's what I mean by amazing: choosing love and forgiveness. That's where I wanted to focus on with Chris. Then Josh coming in and pouring love into us with his wealth of knowledge and his beautiful way on how he delivered that. I am already fired up for what this day is going to bring, because I never know, like I said yesterday, how these summits are going to run, how they're going to unfold, lives that are going to be impacted because of them. But I can already feel it in my heart. And I cannot wait to welcome our next speaker. But before I do that, I want to give a shout out to all of our amazing sponsors. Thank you, Tish McDaniel, John Lester, Eric Yusko. I said Tish McDaniel, May Scott, and Tim Gillette. Thank you for believing in this movement, believing in everything that I built up until this point. Thank you for spreading Joey's legacy across social media and honoring his legacy. Our next speaker that's coming up is our main sponsor, our Mountain Summit sponsor, and Sierra Grana. I just got in trouble for that one. Sierra Grana is also part of our legacy sponsorship. And I apologize for that, Sierra. Thank you for the reminder. I don't have the list in front of me. Yeah. Thank you, James. Thank you for the blues. Our next speaker coming up, as I mentioned, is Martin Humel. I have been working closely with Michael over the last, I want to say, year, with stories of diversity and what we have been building over here with the Mountain Summit Virtual. And our relationship has gone beyond friendship. It's become a true bond of brotherhood. I've seen this man continue to fight even through challenges when he's in the hospital. I'll never forget, while I was on the cruise, he messages me and tells me, "Hey bro, I'm in the hospital. I had a stroke." And let me tell you guys, when you get tight with a brother like that and he becomes immediate family, here I am in the middle of the ocean, right? And I can't do anything. And my heart immediately sank. A couple days after I knew that he was okay, that they were taking care of him, and he was where he needed to be, I reached out to him and I asked him, "Hey bro, we're doing our stories of diversity here after I get back in a couple of weeks. Do you want to push this one off until the next month?" His immediate response was, "F no, I don't want to be a hypocrite." And that blew me away, because this man never gives up. When you want to talk about resilience and strength, this man's got it. And when he reached out to me last week and said, "Hey, sign me up for the Mountain Summit main sponsorship," immediately the tears came flowing. Then I jumped out of my recliner, started to do my version of the Carlton Happy Dance, and started dancing around the living room with my puppies. My version of the Carlton dance is pretty lame, but it was pretty funny to watch, in my opinion. But I am excited. Maybe later, Doug. I am excited to welcome the Mountain Summit main sponsor for 2026, the CEO, the founder, our fearless leader of the stories of diversity, the man that someday I know will do a backflip and side flip and front flip, Mr. Eichel, Martin, Hummel. The summit is yours, brother.
Hello, sir. Thank you for that introduction. I appreciate it. I want to start off my talk with just thanking you because what you're doing is important and what you're doing is deep, and especially this theme time is it just it made me think about um it made me think about grieving and how I don't think I grieved any loss I've ever had. And the first big loss that I had was in 1989. My grandmother, my mother's mother. She was the first dead body I saw. She was the first person I lost. And then from there, 9 years later, I lost my grandfather, and I was literally like his mini me. There's a picture of me and him. I was like two, and we had both of our crutches are walkers because when he got older, he had arthritis and he couldn't walk. So we both had our walkers, and it's a very special, important picture to me. And he ha- he was probably where got my love of storytelling because he would be able to recite he recited poems from memory. He told stories that were like 60 years old, and he didn't miss a beat. And up until the last 6 months of his life, he was always on point, always on the wall. He just knew what was going on. And then a little after he died, my my second cousin Danielle died. And that was probably at the time, I was in my early 20s. It was probably the most impactful death of anybody I lost because she was only three. And what happened was I my mother told me that she was going to the hospital because my cousin and my sister daughter was in a car accident. And that was in the morning. And that night, I was in the um, theater room, and my brother-in-law, who thankfully is not my brother-in-law anymore, came in and told me that she died. And what happened was they operated on her. They opened her up and they noticed that all of her organs were obliterated because of the accident, and there was nothing they could do. So she died on the operating table. And then in 2017, my cousin Randy died, and it was very unexpected. Um, he was only 38. Um, and one thing I loved about him is I'm crap about checking in. I've always been crap. I'm better now, but I used to be really bad. And he called me 2 weeks before he died, and we talked. He checked in. We caught up, and he always told me that he was gonna come out to Vegas and visit me. Never got a chance. Never did it. And the last words I heard him say were "I love you, cuz." And I think after that, in 2020, my wife's brother died, and he had a heart condition, and he had a transplant. And then one day he just passed because of his heart. And I think um thinking about how you grieve, it's different for everybody. I always thought that if you don't cry, you're not grieving. And when I got older, I realized that's just bullcrap. It's everyone grieves differently. It's I hold on to memories like the because my niece, my second cousin. What I hold on to her with is she was like 2 or 3, and my mother would go on a bowling league, and I would be the babysitter, and we would just go out to this game room and play games for like 3 hours, and that's what I hold on to. And her most times when I would go to the game room, to the bowling alley, I would look out into this crowd of people rolling back and forth, and I would see this little girl running to me through people's legs and things, and then she would grab onto my knees because she couldn't jump onto my chair, and that's what I hold on to. And I think for me, it's memories. And until in 16, a friend of mine committed suicide, and for the he was in Vegas, and then he moved back to Alabama, where he's from. And the last 6 months of his life, I didn't really talk to him because, again, I said I'm crap at checking in, so I didn't call him. And then all of a sudden, I see on Facebook that he was gone, and that's one of the things I hate about Facebook because I found out about multiple people who've died. But this is a funny story. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning one time, and me, him, and another friend of mine was in a pizza shop 1 in the morning, and it was the first time I'd ever heard a song by Imagine Dragons. And I don't really care about the band. I don't like the band, but like whatever. But every time I hear them now, I look. Every time I hear them now, I look above the sky and I think of him. And it's just I have two things that I think grieving are to me are the memories that you hold, the memories that you have, and honoring who they were and the relationship that you had. Because, like I said, you don't have to cry to grieve. You just have to remember them. And like when my second cousin died, my my brother-in-law came in and told me, and if he wasn't there, I would have literally tore my room apart. I was about to fall apart. I was going to destroy it. And that was just my initial outburst but I think like I can't talk about her without like, getting emotional. I can't talk about a couple people without getting emotional. But I think the spark that happened is, like I said, the memories. My grandfather's his storytelling is why I love storytelling. His my and my cousin died. My second cousin. When she died, I think she was only 3, so I I do what I do for kind of for her. Like she never got the like I do what I do, but I never like hold it passion. I just called it what I like to do, what I'm good at. And then I never went deep and I never played full out like I should. But the more and more I think about it, I have to for her because I've she never got to live she never got to live the life that I did. And I am living this life, but I'm not living it fully. So I need to live more for her, which is part of the spark. And that's all I got.
That's all you got? Come on, brother. Seriously, dude, you are absolutely incredible. Remember the movie, the animated movie with Mr. Incredible?
Yeah.
For some reason, the movie's name is escaping me.
The Incredibles.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That
Get him,
you
Michael.
are.
Get him.
Thanks, James. Um, you are a living legend, in my opinion, bro. You have become one of many adopted big brothers of mine. And every time you take the stage, I was wiping tears away from my face. I've been crying since 7 a.m., so um, I have a feeling I'm going to be crying for the rest of the day. But, bro, every time you roll onto the stage, you rock it. And I thank you for that. I thank you for your heart. I thank you for backing New Beginnings. I thank you for having me as your co-host. Your what are we, like the mischievous brothers, as you like to call us? And just thank you for everything that you stand for, bro.
Thank
Um,
you.
you're very welcome. We're gonna open up Zoom World over here, and well, Deb's off. Got her mute off. Like, man, she's like a ninja when it comes to that. Go ahead, Deb.
Click jaw.
And that is the only time I will ever be compared to a ninja. Thank you, David.
Welcome.
Michael, mwah. Oh, hello, gorgeous. How are
No,
you?
I'm good.
Oh,
I'm sick,
excellent.
but I'm good.
Well, one of the things that you just mentioned was living, in part, almost like aggregating, sharing, uh, lending, loaning, doing some living for your sweet 3-year-old cousin who checked out way too soon. And for as many things as I heard and hear, I think that's the first time I heard something like that. I hear a lot about, we honor, right? We build legacies, right, David?
Yep.
We build legacies, in honor of, and we do various things to honor someone who is on the other side of the veil. But this was the first time, for me anyway, and it resonated with something. I believe it was Eric yesterday who talked about, or I scribbled on a page under his name, so it may or may not have been Eric, about lending courage. And I just like the sound of all of that, because we all cycle through emotions and grief and love and success, and we're just this ongoing mashup of stuff. And if you're maybe struggling, you can lean on me. I guess, the full circle, it comes back to the lean on me concept. But I thought that was beautiful. I'm opening it up to everyone here. It's like the concept, of what Michael just said, as far as doing some living on behalf of his cousin. I love that. Anyway, thank you, Michael, for everything and always.
Thank you, Michael. You're amazing, bro. Who else? Who else wants that? Oh, Ninja Man. Go ahead, Mr. James. Actually, you're Batman.
Oh, we're gonna have to talk about that.
What?
Nah, I want to make Mr. Martin Hummel sweat a little bit, knowing that I'm about to talk to him. Now, brother, day one, man, we've chatted. Love you, always appreciate you. You show up, and you're like, yo, this is it. This is me. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm going through. You're not afraid to tell your story, and you're not afraid to hide the parts of it that aren't always pretty. Which is powerful, man. Like, not a lot of people say the things out loud quietly, or the things quietly out loud. So I love that you're able to be that, like, hey, it's okay to do that. And what I love is, like, you're holding on to memories that fuel you. That's important, because some people, especially when they go through the process of grief or loss or suffering, they hold on to the memories that hurt them. They hold on to the memories that cause the negative feelings and emotions surrounded by the issues, especially if it's like a traumatic event of a death or a passing. And I speak from experience with this. I used to hang on to what happened, not how that person lived. And that took a transition, and that took work. And for you to be like, hey, this is how I do it, man, thanks, bro. I appreciate you being awesome. I appreciate you being real. And I appreciate you doing it no matter how you feel. That is major for me too. It's cool. Like, you're not 100%, man. We know that you've been having it rough the past like couple weeks to a month, but you still show up and you still give whatever it is you have to give to other people. That's freaking all inspiring, brother. So I just want to say thanks, man. Keep it up.
Thank you.
I second, third, fourth, and fifth that. You always show up, even whatever's stacked against you, bro. And that's awesome. So, James, always bringing the fire, bringing the heat, and appreciate that, bro. Go ahead, Mr. Atkins.
Michael,
Yes, sir.
now I'm honored of being on a men's panel with you last week, I believe, or the week before. And one of the things about you is that you show up. I know that people have already been saying this, but I don't know if you actually get how important that is sometimes, because you get to lead by example of showing up no matter what it looks like. You were in your hospital bed as we did our interview. I mean, that if that isn't, you had to mute because the nurse came in. Come on. So that's huge, man. And your bravery to just live your life as open as you have is inspiring to anyone. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Michael.
Thank
Always
you, sir.
love you, brother. Thank you. Go ahead, Mary.
Hi, Michael.
Hello.
Thank you so much for that heartwarming presentation. I appreciate it. And I have a similar experience, although not quite the same, but it is with grief. And I have a question for you.
Okay.
I'm glad that you held on to those precious memories, but what did you do with the other memories?
You mean like how they died, or the hard ones, or what?
Yeah, how did you manage the hard ones? Did you put them somewhere? Did you?
I probably ignored them, to be honest. I probably just focused on the ones that make me feel good and happy and support who they were and how I can move on. And like, I probably just focus on the last ones or the most important ones because they are the most special to me. And I just don't regard any of the other ones, not because just of them being unimportant or bad, or just there's certain memories that I hold on to that just make me feel good and happy and pull everything pull everything together. And they are what fuels me. They're the spark, and everything else is just noise.
Thank you for your strength.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I agree with that. Thank you for your strength, Michael, and thank you for the question, Mary or Raven. Raven, thank you for your question there. I appreciate that, and I will second that, Michael. Like everybody that has said here, and I've said it already, but there are certain people in life that claim they have strength, right?
Hmm.
But you exemplify that. And I'm glad Jeff brought that up from the men's panel from Roxy's virtual event that the three of us were on. Because it would have been easy for you to just message and say, hey, I'm in the hospital. I don't feel great. I've got this going on. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to this one. But
You know I don't do that.
no, you don't. I don't even think that question even came across your mind.
No, it didn't.
And so that's what I wanted to touch on here because it's what Jeff said, it's what James said, it's what pretty much everybody in the Unleash Now family and the new ones that are new to MBM and part of other communities like Raven and everybody that doesn't know you as well as we do. You have that strength that a lot of people want to have. And so I want to challenge you as we continue through today and what you shared about living more with intention and honoring your cousin and everything that you do. Embrace that because, dude, you are like vibranium that Captain America's shield is made out of, dude. That can't be broken. And you are the man, brother. And Faber just said you get better every time. And so just keep being you. And again, thank you for backing us for the 2026 year. And I can't wait to get on the stage with you again in a couple of weeks when we get ready to do this month's Stories of the Diversity. Because what you're creating there or have created is changing lives. And that is incredible and powerful, dude.